Okay, let's hit the science with this one. There's no real hard evidence that says either way that static stretches after your run is going to be good for your recovery and delaying that muscle soreness post-run, or bad for your recovery and detrimental to your running.
Yeah, so our advice would be, if you do like some gentle, static post-run stretching, then it's a really nice habit to build in actually. It helps bring your heart rate down, and if you're with a friend, it'll catch up on how your session went.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that your body is going to benefit from though is like a light jog or maybe a walk after your run, just to really bring that heart rate down. So the stretches that we're going to go through with you, this is basically a reverse of what you do before your run, so bringing your heart rate and your breathing down.
Yeah, so that 5 to 10 minutes little cool down, whether that's a jog or a walk, is super important. Definitely recommend doing that. But then the rest of it, follow along with us if you fancy.
And the good news is no equipment required.
Yeah, maybe grab an extra layer if you get a bit cold, but other than that, let's go.
Let's do it. All right, Jess, we're going to start with a runner's favourite, the kneeling lunge, hence why we're kneeling down. So we're going to pop our left foot out and stay on our right knee there. Okay, so this is gonna benefit your glutes, your quads, your adductors, the outer thigh. And you're gonna tuck your pelvis under, keeping your back straight, and really lunge into this movement. So keep your head up nice and straight and really tuck your pelvis under.
You can also add an arm and side bend to give you an additional stretch. So say we're on our right knee, we'll put our left leg forwards and we're going to be leaning over to the left. So that helps to stretch out our oblique muscles and our intercostal muscles, which are between the ribs, and also helps to elongate the spine.
Feels really good. Should we swap legs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so this is a fantastic stretch for all you office workers out there as well. So if you have long periods of the day where you are sitting down, this is a really great way to counteract all that sitting too.
The quad stretch. So you're going to lift up one leg, hold your foot with your hand, and then this is going to, surprise, surprise, stretch your quad. So it helps to improve your posture, prevent stiffness, and also increase your flexibility. To help get the most out of this though, push your hips forwards a little bit, but not too much because you don't want to throw yourself off balance.
Should we switch sides?
Yeah.
If you are feeling a little bit wobbly on this one, you can just pop your hand out to the side, or you can hold onto a wall if that helps too. Keep that standing knee nice and soft, don't lock it out, and keep your knees together too. So having tight quads can shorten your stride, so actually doing this stretch is going to give you a bit of a running improvement as well. What a bonus. All right, it's important not to neglect your arms as runners, so we're going to be stretching those arms out because they do a lot of the work when it comes to propelling you forwards in running, don't forget. This will also help to release a bit of tension in your shoulder and in your back by doing your cross-body arm stretch.
So let's think about swapping our arms now. This obviously we're doing each one for 20 seconds each, which is really good to improve your flexibility but not overstretch things. So this is so important using your arms. Often they get forgotten, but they're really good in improving your posture, but also helping with that forward momentum. So don't forget.
Don't forget your poor arms.
Yeah.
It's not just your legs that need a stretch.
Make sure to include them next time. Into an even deeper glute stretch now, which may require a little bit of balance. So let's start by standing on one leg, popping one ankle over the other knee, and then bending down into that stretch. Now, if you want to feel it a little bit deeper down through your glute, then press down on that raised knee and try not to fall over. But this really helps with those glutes and the piriformis, and also helps with the lower back and any pain there.
Any tension, yeah. Should we swap sides? 20
Yeah,
seconds on
good.
each side
Yeah.
again. How are you doing with your balance?
Thanks for saving me on that one. It's tricky.
If you are struggling with your balance, you can bring it down onto the floor instead. So you just gently lie down, bend one of your knees and bring the ankle across. And then to get that extra stretch, you can thread your arms through and hold onto your thigh through there. Keep your head down, flat on the mat, nice and relaxed, and feel that stretch into your glutes. 20 seconds up,
That's it, good. Thank goodness I could not hold my balance any longer.
Okay, another great stretch for glutes and piriformis. Down on the ground for this one, Jess. Taken straight from yoga, pigeon pose.
I love this
Okay, so we're gonna walk our hands down into our pose, bring our bent leg forward, keeping our back leg straight, and then rest back onto those hips and feel the stretch in your glutes and in your hip flexors. So it should feel like a really nice stretch with that back leg straightened out. Really, really good one, this, for any runner, just to really stretch everything. Yeah,
feels really good. We're gonna do 20 seconds on each side again, so we'll swap over. So you can just simply step back and then bring the other leg forwards. And it feels really nice to have like a straight back, and you can feel it through your hips. But if you feel like you can, another progression of that is to reach forwards. Don't worry if you can't, but stretch forwards, and then just, you can lean so that your head is resting on the floor.
Don't fall asleep, Jess.
Oh.
Next.
Okay, so a static version of the hamstring swoop that we were doing earlier, which we called the shoeing the chickens, or I did anyway. So this really helps to stretch out those tight hamstrings that we've got. So if you want to change the intensity of it, then foot flat on the ground, you can do it that way, or you can lift up the front of your toes, and then that increases the intensity a little bit.
Yeah, I can really feel that down my tight hamstring. Yeah. Let's swap sides on that one. So, as Jess says, you can change the intensity of this by lifting your toe, but just make sure you've also got your chest lifted. So try not to look down at the ground, just look straight ahead. And that will also add to the intensity. You really should be feeling this stretch nicely down the backs of your straight leg.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
All right, we are going to do some calf stretches now. There's two variations of this. First one, you're gonna pop your heel to the floor, toe to the ceiling, bend your left knee, but also bend that right knee, which means you're gonna feel the stretch lower down in your calf. Bit of balance required again for this one. So hopefully you can feel that in the part of your calf called soleus, which is the lower bit. Super important for runners to stretch those calves because they can feel pretty tight sometimes.
Yeah, shall we switch sides? So we're going on to the right leg, and then left leg is forward, so bend that slightly. And this really helps to prevent injuries such as plantar fasciitis or shin splints. So it also helps to improve that ankle support and help you to propel you forwards.
Yeah, calves are the bedrock of running, aren't they? All right, so release that one. We've done soleus, so now we're going to do the meaty part of our calves, gastroc. So we're going to do a very similar exercise. So starting off with our right leg again, but instead of putting the bend in that knee, we're going to keep the knee straight this time. So as you reach down, you should feel that stretch more in the upper part of your calf.
Yep, so I can definitely feel that stretch. Should we move on to the other one?
Yeah, swap sides.
Yeah, definitely something that I feel is really satisfying stretching actually, and you don't want to be tearing anything.
Another good one for this as well is if you do struggle with balance, you can always stretch your calves out against the wall. Oh, yeah. So if you put your hands up against the wall, step 1 foot forward and then stretch the rear leg out. Ready?
Yeah.
Done. So if you're cooling down after going for an easy run, now's a really good time to add in a little bit of conditioning work. So really, really easy way just to do a little bit every single week, which can all add up. So thinking things like planks, side planks, dead bugs, calf raises, that sort of thing. Jess, we're going to do a plank.
Of course we are. Let's do it then, I guess. To be honest, I didn't really think about your core being so key for your running at the start, but yeah. It really helps to alleviate some of that strain on the other muscles when you're doing it. And now I'm going to drop onto my knees while I talk to you. A little bit of a variation if you want to get started with that. But yeah, definitely actually improves your strides as well, which I thought was really interesting because it helps to move the power through your body and help to get you faster and more powerful in those strides. But if you want to push yourself, an extra 5 seconds or 10 seconds on the end of each workout is definitely something that you might even notice you're getting stronger as you go along. Yeah. Now I think you're going to beat me on this one, so let's stop there.
I'm done.
Right, okay, I know I said you don't need any equipment for this, but you honestly don't. But if you want to take your running and your recovery to the next level, then you might want to invest in a foam roller or a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, for example, which will really get into those deep muscles and get into those niggles.
Absolutely, and if you are a keen bean and would like to, there is a video all about that too. But are you enjoying these follow along videos? If you are, please let us know in the comments what you want to see next.